I'm author Mark Muncy,
And I'm author Erika Lance.
and this is Eerie Travels. Greetings, travelers.
Greetings, travelers.
Wow.
It was very aggressive.
Wow.
I'm super excited about today's episode.
This is oh my gosh, yeah, this is exciting. I'm thrilled with
Do you
these.
know why there's a couple of reasons this is actually super exciting, Mark.
Okay, why is that?
One, our travelers are interested. So
Yes.
we love that. Secondarily, you are now in the mountaintop castles of the world.
Yes.
We're live in person.
Yes, complete with crazy internet hiccups.
Yes. Welcome to my world.
Yeah.
And then last but certainly not least, we have the amazing, the incomparable Calista Muncy on the podcast with us.
You do. Hi, guys.
You gonna say greetings to our travelers? Not as aggressive as me, probably.
Greetings, travelers.
Oh, our ASMR episode.
Yeah.
All right. So that's nice.
I like to get spooky with it.
I like it. Now we
Thank
just
you.
had some craziness. You guys, we did our first listener question episode,
Yep.
and because we aired that, we instantly got flooded with more questions. We're still getting listener stories. We love those. This is a little different.
It is. You can do both. If you have
can
a
do both.
question,
Yep.
send us a question. You can do it through the website, eerietravels.com. Or if you have a listener tale, I actually fixed the website so you can upload pictures too.
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. So,
Yeah, that's why I started getting
Yeah,
those.
so
I was trying to figure that
Yay.
out. I was
yeah,
like,
no.
wait a minute. I'm getting a
able-
lot of Starlink photos, and people are saying it's UFOs. I'm like, sorry to disappoint. It's Starlink, but it's okay.
Let me just put this little disclaimer. This is what I suggest, travelers. If you think you're seeing UFOs in the sky, Google what does Starlink look like in the sky when it's being launched
Yeah.
and when it's passing over.
Yeah, or especially like the 2 weeks after the launch, because that's when people are saying, well, there was no launch last night. It's like, yeah, but it's the week after is when it's getting into orbit, and that's when it usually looks like that.
Well, that
Now-
you see them float across the sky. They
Oh,
kind of look like a diamond bracelet across the sky.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, anything is a UAP if you don't know what it is. It's unknown to you. So
Right.
they're not wrong.
No, they are not wrong.
And that's
They're not-
everything.
Just we're not going to confirm that it's
No,
a
yeah,
UFO.
yeah.
Because it's probably
Not of non-human origin, which I loved in that hearing. We're going to do a whole episode on the UFO hearing, but it's still Mothman month, and I think there's more coming on that, so we're going to hold off.
Yeah, no, that's going to be probably even a two-parter because that
Yeah.
goes really deep. But
Oh, yeah.
questions today, listeners, and I'm going to start because I'm super
And
excited.
you guys have dug into our psyche. I'm like, how did you get into our heads? Because these are things we just mention in passing in certain episodes, and I mean, and suddenly it comes up in a question, and I get those question emails, and I'm just like, oh, are they inside my head? How did they know this? So,
Mark thinks everybody's inside his head.
well, I think Indrid Cold is,
And I just want to
reaching
point
out.
out
So
that your amazing wife did something which Callie, I don't know if you saw this, but Carrie went and bought a lamp from an antique shop.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
saw that and I was like, Carrie, no.
What are you doing?
I'm a bad influence.
Let's find. I'm just saying. I know we're going to be recording very soon at your mountain chalet, but man, if I get followed home. Oh wait, you already did that when staying.
Yeah,
with me
yeah,
and
yeah,
brought
yeah.
something home.
I did. I had your dogs pointed it out
Yeah.
very clearly that there was
Yes.
something attached to me, and we took care of it. So it's okay.
We did we?
Well, you did, and then
I
I did too. So
Yes.
it's okay.
Okay. So let's begin the questions.
Yeah,
Here we
let's
go.
start with that. Oh my god.
Okay. Greetings, travelers. Greetings.
Yay, greetings.
Okay. Mark and Erika always mention their love for Mass Effect. Are you guys paragons or renegades? Male or female Shep? Who are your romance choices? Which ending? And when is Callie going to play it? I should go, Michelle S.
When is Callie going to play it?
Okay, so let's start with that because I knew that part when I read it. Callie was like, gonna explode. Go ahead, Callie.
Y'all-
Do some explain.
Okay, so when I was 11, I played Mass Effect for the first time, and I've played it, I think, 10 times fully through since then. I've always tried to do different run throughs, but I always end up doing Renegade because anytime I do Paragon Shepherd, I'll fill in Erika's role. I'll say the first swear. I feel like a pussy anytime I do it. And so I don't do it. I do Renegade every time. I just want to be evil. I'm always Femme Shep because Jennifer Hale is amazing. Nothing against Mark Mirror, of course, but I've played it so many times with her that every time I've tried to do a male shepherd run, I'm like, no, but I miss Jen. I want her back.
Romance choices?
I mean, so it's always a split between Thane and Garrus, but I usually end up going with Garrus. Thane I try to, and then I just cry, and then anytime I like pass him, like there's this scene in Guardians 3 where Gamora's like, I bet we were fun. And then Chris Pratt's like you wouldn't believe. And I always feel like that every time I don't romance Thane. It just hurts my heart.
Oh,
and this is a video game listener. So
yeah, for those of you who don't know who Mass Effect is, it's
yeah.
The sci-fi video game trilogy is 10 years old, maybe.
Yeah, a new one's
coming.
And they did a legendary edition recently, which revitalized it. But
so
I also,
Callie, real quick, which ending do you have usually?
I mean, I usually do synthesis because like as much as I love being evil, like I do need Joker and Edie to have their beautiful little cyber babies. That's important.
Little eye babies.
Yeah. But I also have a mod on my Mass Effect so that it ends with the Citadel DLC because I don't super love how the game ends. No. And I feel like the Citadel DLC, which if you've never played Mass Effect, the Citadel DLC is basically like fan service that makes up for the ending, which is notoriously an ending that a lot of people dislike. There are people who like it, but I'm not particularly a fan of it.
No.
Okay,
so I tend to replay it for the Citadel. Also, game 1, I always romance Liara, just in case anyone was wondering.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Mark?
Oh, I'm a Liara and Tali.
Okay, but what a Paragon or Renegade?
I am a Paragon because I like playing Paladins. I like being able to be the nice guy that I would really like to be. I'm always Paladin in role playing games and all that. When I'm DMing, I get to be all the bad guys. So when I play, I like to be the good guy.
Okay, male, female.
I usually play male Shep. I'm a big Mark Mirror fan because I've met him so many times. I've met Jennifer Hale a couple times too.
Okay, and which ending?
And for ending for me, I go again the good guy ending. I like synthesis.
Okay, and so my answer is going to surprise a lot of people.
Oh,
Paragon.
Oh wow, good for you.
Yeah, and the reason is I make a very charismatic driven character.
Yes.
So she basically talks her way out of everything. I play a female shepherd, and I always 100% of the time romance Garrus when I can. Because that's why I named my dog after him. And so the synthesis ending, the good guy ending. So everybody now could have skipped through this portion of the question.
So for those of you now back to our normal programming, but I did like that Michelle ended it with "I should go," which is a Mass Effect in joke. So
I do have to say, like, the asking me if like has Callie ever played it? Like, can you guys talk them into playing it? Like, well, I have so much Mass Effect merchandise in my home because of my dad.
Yes.
It's wild. Like I've got the like helmet, I've got like a little plushy Elcor that sings at you. I've got a plushy Morden that's holding a little seashell. Like this is all video game stuff, I know.
You're going down a path. We gotta
I know.
Not that I don't love it.
We'll do our spin-off show. Mass Effect Travels.
Do Mass Effect show.
Yeah, we'll do Mass Effect Travels.
Thank you, Michelle S.
Thank you for taking us down that rabbit hole. So all right.
Your rabbit hole.
Yep. And we should go. All right. So
I'm sorry, I'm calibrating.
Okay, so now my question. So the next one. Hey, Eerie fam. Hey. When going on travels, what are you hoping to find? What scares you the most when traveling? Just curious, Kelly Green.
I think what we're hoping to find is interesting people, first of all, interesting, fun people, and then just discovering the history of things and the lore. I think we're lore finders.
Folklore finders.
And I will say what scares me the most when traveling is usually rest stop bathrooms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hands down, rest
Yeah.
stop bathrooms can be, not actual rest stop bathrooms. Let me clarify. When you stop at gas stations,
Yeah.
there is a 75% chance of some disgusting thing worse than ghosts.
They always
So
look like specifically a gas station that somebody in a horror movie would be like, yeah, y'all don't go back to that shack down in the woods.
Oh, the
Yeah,
it's like-
Harbinger.
yeah.
Harbinger there.
The
Yeah.
Harbinger's gas station.
Yeah.
Like,
the
I don't
Harbinger
want to
gas
go
station.
there.
Yeah. No, I think when I go is I love discovering stories, things I did not know, because I'll go on one, I'm going to this destination looking for one thing, but everywhere we stop, I've gotten Erika into the habit. Hey, do you know any ghost stories about this place? Do you know any, history about this place? And then, what's your favorite, monster story in the area? And then the next thing you know, we've got 10 more places to visit. And I really love exploring towns and getting deep into the nitty gritty.
And I will say this, travelers, just a plug. So our first Eerie Travels book is going to be coming out in the beginning of the year. We're going to have, it'll be Eerie Travels, Tampa Bay-ish area.
Mhm.
The second book we're working on is going to be up in the Smoky Mountains. But if you have places you think we should visit or lore we should go research, send it to us. We will add it to our list. We're going to be doing a couple Eerie Travels books every year, so we'll be able to travel around and do it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And what scares me the most when traveling, other drivers. Yeah, so that's yeah.
Callie, is there something different than we mentioned in the fear factor?
Well, sometimes being in the car with my dad driving is a little scary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bless you went. Kelly Green, we want to say thank you
Threw
for
me
that
under the
question.
bus.
you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Kelly.
well, no,
All right.
no. I actually really like traveling with my dad. Anytime we go on things like that. I feel like the thing that I'm always the most excited by isn't as much the haunted thing as much as it is like the random food place that my dad will have found. Because he also asks, when he's asking for local stories, what's the best food here? And then we end up finding like the local mom and pop stuff in the area that's always like super good. Like, let's see. And I mean, I know in the Brooksville episode, we talked about Coney Island hot dogs, and that's just incredible. But, if you ever ask, like, what's the best burgers in like my hometown, like Mark Muncy generally will know. He loves burgers, and they are so good. We've gotten some good burgers on the road. I think the best one I had was in like Tennessee. I can't even remember the name of the place. I think it was like Golden Girls something.
Oh, it was the Golden Girl Cafe in Pasco, near outside of Chattanooga. Yeah,
that was a real good
it was in a
house
house.
That they had
it was
there.
amazing.
Yeah, it was like somebody's kitchen.
It was in Hooker, Oklahoma.
Oh, nice.
There's a little stop. There's apparently a museum to the Wizard of Oz there, so we'll have to
Oh,
check
yeah,
that out.
that's definitely an amazing place.
Okay, next one. So Kelly Green, thank you very much.
Thank you for that, Kelly. Hope we answered your question.
Okay, hi Mark and Erika.
Hi.
Hello. I saw Mark's book in a Cracker Barrel on our trip to St. Augustine, and I listened to that guy. I hope you did that out loud. That's what I'm My husband laughed. I bought the book. Ooh, you should bring it to an event. Mark will sign it.
Yeah.
That's true.
We used to look for haunted places we would have missed on the trip. Thanks so much. What's your favorite scary place in St. Augustine? P.S. We visited the sheriff's ghost walk and told him you recommended him. He said you're a great storyteller and has a copy of the book that you gave him. Fan for life. We'll look for you in a future event. Rhonda Green.
No relation to Kelly Green.
That is weird that they're in order, but Rhonda, thank you very much. And what is your scariest place in St. Augustine?
The scariest place in St. Augustine for me is the old jail.
Oh yeah.
That place, the sheriff, Doug Stenroos, I don't know if I'm supposed to say his real name, but anyway, the sheriff's ghost walk, he's retiring soon, it doesn't matter. He when I first started researching this stuff, he's like, we're gonna go stay in the old jail. I got the keys. I'm like, okay. And he's like, I took Charlie up there one night. I'm gonna take you up there. So Charlie Carlson, rest in peace. So he's like, I'm taking you there. So we spent the night in the old jail, which is now a museum and all this. And we were up on that top floor area, which when you do the tour, they call it, oh, this is the isolation dock. This is where they put the worst of worst. It's actually kind of the mess hall area. It was not that. but the tour, is a little bit of Hollywood thrown in, but it's a scary place. And we were camping out in an old cell, and it was just the two of us in the building. And we were setting up our sleeping bags, and suddenly the padlock on the gate to the cell lifts up. It's an old metal padlock. It lifts up and goes bam, and it echoes through the whole building.
Nope.
And
time to go.
Though I was like, he's like, we're just getting started. And I'm like, well, I'm ready to go home now. But but I was like, that was amazing. And I, of course, no, we didn't have cell phones, all this. This was way back. So it was very, very cool. And we spent the night there, but it was definitely a scary, scary night. So
yeah, I have to say, one of the things I think a lot of people don't realize about St. Augustine in general is there used to be monasteries there, and pirates would attack there. The amount of dead that are just in the streets,
the yellow fever outbreaks
and things
everything
like that, like just the decimation body count of that area. It's, you go in there and it's all tingly. It's very one of the scariest places for me actually is the old schoolhouse, because I think it's one of the oldest buildings.
It's one of the few that's actually survived fires, floods, everything.
Yeah.
A lot of those places you go through, like St. George's Street, and look at all these old buildings. They were all rebuilt in the 1980s after a fire. But that schoolhouse survived.
Yeah, so I went in there, and I'm 6 feet tall, so I'm way too tall to be in that building. Period.
Yeah.
Period. Mark's 6 feet as well, so we're way too tall.
We're
to be
stooped
in there.
And
it's perfect height for me.
Yes. Send Callie in. Here's all sacrifice. No, I went in there and I was like, oh, there is something that doesn't want people in this house.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, that was a scary place.
Scariest. Now, if you really want an encounter, just hang out at Tolomato Cemetery. You'll see something. The little boy in the tree there. I've Owl going back's got a picture of the bride there. I've got a picture of the little boy in the tree. The sheriff's Ghost Walk page has a great picture of the little boy in the tree. They've been seen a ton. And then Callie has, their experience. I think we mentioned it before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. With the gate.
Oh yeah. I mean, the scariest thing that I've ever seen in that Tolomato Cemetery was a homeless guy pissing, but that was
that happens too. So,
I don't think that was a ghost. I'm not gonna lie.
You never know. But everybody's always lighthouse is great, but there's a lot more to St. Augustine.
That is true.
Okay, next question.
Is it my turn now? Yes. Yeah. My question to those out there who call themselves paranormal investigators, or people out there that go hunt things that go bump in the night, do you believe in the vampires, werewolves, dogman, shapeshifters, any of those things you're always hearing about that were the monsters that we were scared of as kids? Do you believe that there are real life monster hunters out there that go out and hunt them, and that have been hunting them for lifetimes or centuries, or how long these monsters have existed? Joseph Grimm.
I wonder if that's from Grimm Fairy Tale.
I don't know, but that's also an awesome name.
That is an awesome name.
But all right, so I think this question is asking, are there also vampires, werewolves, and hunters, not just ghost hunters?
Yeah, no, I mean, first of all, I think there are hunters of all kinds.
Yes.
As far as actual werewolves can be considered shapeshifters, and there's a lot of talk about whether or not a lot of these creatures that we see, even Bigfoot, even Dogman, the Rougarou that we recently probably shouldn't have discussed. These things are shifters or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think to say shapeshifters, I think it's entirely possible that these things and their skinwalkers are shapeshifters, right? But as far as actual vampires, like the vampire Lestat, I have my doubts on the blood, like actual undead creatures who live off of blood. That one's a little harder for me to go down the path of things. There have been many different vampire cults, and there's an entire society of vampire things, but they're not undead creatures that are centuries old necessarily.
And there are families out there that have histories of monster hunting and stuff like that. I think it's a bit more in the realm of fiction. But dogman hunters, yes, I've talked to many.
Bigfoot hunters,
hunters, oh my gosh, yeah. Stacy Brown, he'll be happy to talk to us, and Connor Flynn and all these, RPG, all these guys that we are going to have on future episodes. They are monster hunters, and Dave Spinks, he hunts monsters, ghosts, whatever. So these guys, it's not all Hollywood.
It's not Hollywood kind of hunting. It's not Van Helsing.
Yeah.
That's not.
They're not running around with wooden stakes and crosses, but they are looking into these things. Now, vampires, there is a word for vampire in every language on earth. And there are men, when I was in Romania, there was a guy hunting strigoi, and he was out actually ready to kill them and wrestle with them and stuff like that. So yes, they are out there. They're on the fringes of society, but I don't necessarily.
We don't know what they are, but I don't personally believe we have 1,000-year-old, 100-year-old vampires. I could see it being something else, but I don't know. I could be proven wrong. So I'm going to say it's in the preternatural
stuff we don't understand yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen Paul Rudd. There's got to be vampires.
Oh, I think that's aliens, but that's my.
For sure, something's going on. He's got immortality somehow.
Paul Rudd is a gem.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I love Paul Rudd. We're happy he's around.
Yes.
I know as far as
Conan O'Brien show was around some more, so he could still show the Macamee.
Oh my God, yeah. For me, like the only Bigfoot hunter that I know of, at least personally, was my 7th grade science teacher. I don't know. He was just a real character. Like our first day of class, he was like, first off, he always called me Calista. And I was like, okay, cool. That's close. And he was like, I know what I saw in the Yucatan. And he would go up there with his wife every year because he's like, here's a picture of Bigfoot. And it was for sure like a blurry bear. Yeah. But this guy was like really convinced he saw Bigfoot, and he really wanted all of these middle schoolers to like believe it too. It was really like wild. Mm-hmm. But if you're listening out there, Mr. Malinka, I don't know what you saw, but
drop us a line.
Drop us a line.
We'd love to hear your listener tales.
You made a big impression on me and on my heart, and I loved your class.
Oh
yeah,
okay.
I miss it.
You are so rabbit holing worse than your dad did.
Listen, I don't talk much.
Yeah, you're loving this. So good. All right.
Here we go. Hello, travelers. Well, hello.
Hello.
No hello, Callie? Where was the
Oh,
hello?
hi. Sorry.
I'm writing this in the hopes that you all read it and it will fall onto the ears of someone who can provide some guidance. First off, thank you for your show. I'm new to all this, but there's a sense of comfort here and I really appreciate it. I feel like I found a family.
Oh.
Well, you are welcome to the tribe.
Yes. Well,
yeah.
It's dangerous as that can be. Okay. For as long as I can remember, I felt what most would describe as unnatural. My intuition is nauseating at times, and I am so drawn to all the things outside of this world. I'm a natural healer, and I've always been fascinated with death and the afterlife. I'm very introverted by nature in real life, but hide under humor on social media. I'd love to learn all I can about myself and my inner power. However, I'm so lost on where the first step is. I guess mentorship is really what I'm seeking, or even a place to start. Any advice or suggestions on this would be appreciated. Lately, I felt an incredible sense of urgency and spiritual connection that I can't shake. I'm lost, and I love to hear your stories and how you found yourself on these journeys I'm so desperately seeking in myself right now. Tori B. Oh. Well, Tori, we love having you. I'm going to start with my advice, which is I think something that could definitely help. It depends on where in the country you are. So, Tori, you don't have to reveal that. But there are Reiki healers, which is where I would begin, is finding a place to teach Reiki, because at least there's mentorship in that. Because if you had a place like, what is the place in Florida, the psychics?
Like Casadega.
Like Casadega, where there's some legitimate people who have the gifts and stuff like
there's
that.
There's actually Casadega in upper state New York too, and where it originally started.
Yeah.
I would say, honestly, social media is your friend. You already said you're hiding behind your humor on social media. There are many, many, many Facebook groups that are great for helping beginners.
And
Look-
empaths.
and empaths especially. One of my favorites is the Appalachian Spirituality and Witchcraft, is a great paranormal group that I would highly recommend you join. There are lots of others like that just in your area. Look in your area. There's got to be, just do a Facebook search, do a Google search, and you'll find that there are groups. Just make sure anybody offering to charge you for this, walk away.
Just this is
walk
not
away.
a chargeable, and you have to
That's
feel comfortable.
one of the
with
problem
that.
with some of the Reiki healings is some of them are like, oh, I'll teach you how to be a Reiki healing, $500. Now, if they're offering, if they're asking for like gas money and, and food, yeah, I mean, you got to eat, and they got to get to you. So yeah, that I would be okay with, but most of them willing to do it on Zoom, stuff like that. But, find local classes. Also, your local yoga studios, your local libraries, and your local metaphysical stores.
Yes.
Any crystal supply shop usually has a billboard with, hey, we're starting a coven, we're starting a group, and go with what your gut says. If you don't like the term coven, you don't like the term Wicca, don't go to a Wicca group, go to something else. If you don't like Reiki, and you want to go Wicca, there you go.
Or
use your judgment.
And I would also say,
follow that intuition.
Regardless, go into the group. If you don't feel good about it, red flags, walk away immediately.
Yep.
Don't doubt yourself.
And do not, you're not going to offend anybody by leaving immediately.
Yeah. And if you do, they're
they
not
understand.
the right group anyway.
Yeah, everybody understands intention. Everybody understands intention.
Something else that I think is really helpful if you're still trying to figure your stuff out. I used to have a roommate in college who, they were Salvadorian and they were trying to get in touch with like the Salvadorian elements of witchcraft. So they were kind of looking into like their own cultural stuff and talking to like their family members who had practiced, and also trying to find like resources online about their own like cultural background. And that was like a really interesting journey to watch, her go through. So I think using it as a way to like reconnect with like some of your more cultural elements in your like background can be a really helpful thing too. Plus it feels less appropriative when you do stuff like that.
Agreed.
All right.
Okay.
Hope that helps, Tori, and let us know how your message, how it goes. Yeah, drop back in a line. All right. So next one. This one's from Anonymous. I love these. So last night my kiddo ate
not the group.
not the group. Yeah, but
Whoops.
so last night my kiddo ate some cereal in my room and left their bowl on my table. As I was about to fall asleep, I thought I heard a loud clank, like the spoon getting dropped in the bowl. I sat up, looked around, nothing weird, but had an odd feeling about it. I was in my room again just now working on some laundry, and I hear the same sound, except drawn out like it was raked across the bowl, and the spoon is opposite of where it was before. I'm either losing my mind or I have a ghost that wants me to put the dishes in the sink. LOL. Seriously though, does that warrant a cleanse? Because that was weird AF.
Which is as fuck for anybody paying attention. Look, I got it in.
Yay! Good job, Erika.
What say you, travelers? So do you have a ghost that wants you to do the dishes? Yes.
Yeah.
I'd say it's safest to just move.
Yeah,
Probably.
Nuke the house down,
Nuke the side
go.
from orbit and go, because it's making a clanking sound.
No,
No, honestly, something's trying to contact.
I
I
would
think.
say it's trying to contact you. This doesn't sound ominous to me.
No, it doesn't even sound poltergeist. It doesn't. It sounds
No.
like you've got just something making connection. Although it could just be your spoon clanking against the bowl, as
Well,
it settles. But
I might no. The kid left it there and walked away. Mark, stop
Yeah,
trying to give it a thing.
okay.
It is entirely possible, depending on your room layout, if this is the only small object that's laid like that,
Yeah.
that it's using that. Because keep in mind, I personally feel, besides poltergeist, that's a whole other topic and a much longer show for us. But I think most ghosts have a very hard time moving physical stuff around. I do think it takes a lot of energy for them to do it. So they're not gonna like Morse code out the thing.
Yeah. Dick, 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 dick.
So,
Right.
and it could just be saying hi, and it could be warning you of something.
Yeah. And
Ooh.
bowls with spoons, that's definitely a common communication technique for Buddhism and a lot of other
Mhm.
things too. So
Or maybe your kid is pranking you. Maybe this is like a viral TikTok prank. I
That could
don't
happen too.
know a whole lot about it.
Ghosts, well, we can look it up, but I don't think so. But I wouldn't cleanse yet. I would just let it know that if it's trying to tell you something and you don't want to hear it, just ask it to leave. Generally, if you ask them to leave nicely, in general, they will leave. Don't go to the extreme steps unless you have to, because
I feel like my first instinct is always just, that's the ghost's house now.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. You know me, Callie. I'll burn the whole house down and move.
No, I feel that.
I think we should take a quick break and come back.
All right, sounds good. Eerie, Appalachia. Gear up for a frightful jaunt into the darkest reaches of the ancient Appalachians. Folks deep within the Appalachian hollers lean close to the campfire to share stories of the inexplicable with hushed awe. Monsters rumbling in the hills, strange lights darting through the pitch black night sky, horrible occurrences almost ineffable in their bizarre tragedy. Tall tales, you might say. Tell that to the Flatwoods monster in Braxton County, West Virginia, or the Goat Man of Louisville. Look into his humanoid eyes and let him know you don't believe. And what of those apparitions in Mammoth Cave's Corpse Rock, or the Satan spawn known as the Jersey Devil? How do you respond when confronted by these mysteries? From the metaphysical energy that swirls near Serpent Mound in Ohio to Point Pleasant's Mothman legacy, Mark Muncy and Carrie Schultz explore the dark history lurking in the shadows of Appalachia. Read by Mark Muncy, author and experts on strange folklore with appearances on shows such as Ancient Aliens, The Curse of Robert the Doll, and many, many more.
Greetings, mortals and others. I'm Dick Terhune, the voice from hell. I work with haunted attractions all over the US, Canada, and Europe to increase audiences and enhance their experience with highly effective commercials, narrations, animatronic character voices, whatever your dark heart desires. Let me help you do more, scare more, profit more. Find out more at Voice from Hell on Facebook and at voicefromhell.com.
And we're back.
We're back. It's my turn.
Oh, yes.
Okay, here we go. Greetings, travelers. Greetings.
Greetings.
Okay. Are you going to say greetings? What the heck?
Yeah, come on, Dad.
Sorry, I was reading. I was
You're not allowed to read ahead.
lost. I was lost in thought there for a minute.
Oh, I had the pleasure of discovering you all at the Great Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference in Catlin.
Yay!
You are all very sweet. Which one of us did you meet?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't
It
know.
has to have been Carrie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it
It's scary. It was scary,
Yeah,
probably.
Okay. I need to clarify that, by the way. If you see Mark with another female that doesn't have silver hair like him, that's not Erika. That is his amazingly beautiful wife, Carrie. Just stop asking
She's
her.
our
if Erika.
illustrator for our logo. She's the illustrator for the books. She's just not a talker as much as we are. So.
Yeah,
She's
no.
my favorite stepmom next to Bruce Campbell.
There you go. Yeah.
I choose Bruce Campbell. Anyway, moving on. Okay. You were very okay. I do have one question. You were selling a book about being in love with Mothman. I want you to know everyone loves Mothman and wants to marry him. You should know that he's not just a piece of cake. He's here to warn us about our failing critical infrastructure. Laugh out loud. In all honesty, it was a cute book, and you should all review it for a future episode. I picked up Sleeping with Sasquatch too. Is that on your website?
Oh, I should have picked up.
Yeah. Oh, I should have picked up Sleeping with Sasquatch. Okay, Darren Jackson. Well, hello, Darren. Real quick, we have, of course, in an episode that just aired before this one, was meeting Paige Lavoie, who is the author of I'm in Love with Mothman.
Yes,
And
which was
so-
the book you were selling at your booth, the Four Horsemen booth.
Yeah, it's the Four Horsemen booth. And you can go to the number 4horsemenpublications.com and find I'm in Love with Mothman and Sleeping with Sasquatch by Honey Cummings and Cuddling with Chupacabra
Yes.
and Naked with the New Jersey Devil. There's a whole collection of those. So you can get
Yeah.
all of your cryptid. There's a ghost collection too.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of stories there. So
And I agree, Mothman is not just a piece of cake.
no,
He is
and then
he is trying to warn us about critical infrastructure. No, I think Mothman is something completely different.
Yes, which
but
we're gonna cover in another episode. But I will say that Darren, yes, hopefully you heard the Paige Lavoie episode and you got to, she's an amazing person, and we'll throw the link in the show notes here so you guys can
and for
find
those of you who want some autograph copies, we will have them at the Mothman Festival.
yes, at the Mothman Festival, and the sequel, which is I'm Engaged to Mothman, will be at
So,
the
well, there
Mothman
you go.
Festival. Yeah.
All right.
So, Darren, you can come up to Point Pleasant. Okay.
All right, next for me. Hi, Mark. Hey, this
You-
was right to me.
Did
So-
you arrange this in this order?
I did not, so
But-
I swear.
Okay.
When it's like I didn't arrange the two greens together, but yeah, this is how they come in. When are you all coming up to my neck of the woods and discussing puckwudgies? Eager to hear your thoughts. Glenn Williams. Are you familiar with the puckwudgie, Erica?
Yes, I am familiar with the puckwudgie.
How about
Why?
you,
Because
Kelly?
you keep saying we need to do a puckwudgie
Yeah.
episode.
Is the puckwudgie one the one with the little snout?
No,
He's
that's
like kind of
the squonk.
scrunchy.
That's
Oh,
the
I'm thinking of the
squonk.
squonk. My
Yeah,
bad.
the puckwudgies are kind of fakin / Bigfoot. They're like smaller. The stump jumper in Florida is considered the 2-egg stump jumper is considered a puckwudgie type thing. They're Bridgewater Triangle. Our good friend Chris Balzano, he has a great book called Bridgewater Triangle where he really was the puckwudgie guy for a little while. We should reach
get
out,
him on our show.
get him on the show. He does a podcast called Tripping on Legends. So
Yes.
we should get him. We'll reach out to him
We'll reach out to him. We'll get him on the show.
and we'll get a
discuss it.
full. He is the expert. So
Good, because otherwise
I
we're
defer
going
to
to
him.
hear Mark go on about puckwudgies. But Glenn Williams, we'll hear about puckwudgies soon enough.
Soon enough, yes. I'll put
Okay.
it on the list.
Okay. Next one. There are numerous stories of giant catfish in the Ohio River and other bodies of water for obvious reasons. What are your thoughts on the oversized catfish or any other giant fish growing to the size of small cars? What is the biggest fish you've ever seen? Jeremy W. Do we count Jaws? I want to count Jaws.
You want to
as the
count
biggest
Jaws?
fish. No,
what
just
about the
kidding.
Meg?
Meg.
Yeah.
No, so my thoughts on oversized catfish, is that they exist. I mean, the truth is there's a lot of creatures, and they've seen up in the Great Michigan lakes and stuff, the carp that get to be huge, and the goldfish.
Are monsters. But no, the giant catfish. I have a story. My grandfather was a swimmer in the Big Sandy River, and he used to swim in this river and help cut the nets when they were trudging behind the barges, and things would get caught in him and he'd have to go down there and swim. And he's like literally sees like 1 inch in front of his face. He said, I never met him. He's long dead before I was born. But my uncle used to tell me about the time that he said he was cutting something loose from the net and his hand went inside and his whole arm was swallowed by a giant catfish. And it didn't hurt him. It just catfish doesn't have teeth, it just kind of gumming him. But it scared him and he never went. That was when he quit that job.
Grouper. That is the biggest thing I've ever seen. So they call them, I don't like this term, but they call them Jewfish.
They used to. They're no longer anymore.
And I hated that. But giant grouper, yes, the mouth was larger than my head.
Oh yeah.
And I saw that, and travelers, there's a reason you'll find that Erika nopes out of situations. That would be why I nope out of scuba diving. I will snorkel where I'm near the surface and less likely to get eaten. I have an entire shark attack story from when I grew up in California. So let's just say I absolutely have seen these fish. We've seen these fish, river monsters, all the time.
And then there was the famous event, I think it was in Ohio, where a guy bought his wife 7 swans of swimming. He was doing the Christmas, 12 days of Christmas, and he bought her 7 swans, put it in this lake that they had on their property, and they started disappearing quickly. And they finally were watching, they put cameras up to watch it, and the swans would go down under the water and just never come back up. Like they were hunting for fish. They finally drained the lake, the little pond, and they found a 7.5 foot long catfish or 8.5 foot long catfish.
Yeah.
And it had eaten all the swans.
And I think a lot of these things you see is generally if something a lot of nature is taken out by predators. I mean, you don't have a lot of nature that ends up old age kind of situation.
Right.
For the most part, something happens accidentally, whatever, it's just, how it works. So you can find very old creatures that are way bigger just because they don't have anything that's
nothing
taken
to
them
find
out.
them. Yeah.
And then they get to the point where they're too big to be taken out by something because, like I hate to say it, but an 8-foot catfish and a bear would be a very interesting tussle.
And the biggest fish I ever saw was a giant sturgeon that was, literally 9 feet long. I thought it was an alligator, and it was a sturgeon.
Oh,
So.
those are terrifying to look at.
I've
right,
only seen a big fish in one episode of Middleman, and that's it.
Yeah. I started
watching those.
Erika on Middleman finally. So
That's great.
Flying pike. Okay.
yeah, all right.
Yep.
All right. So who's next?
You.
Oh, me. All right. Greetings, travelers. Greetings.
Greetings.
When road tripping, does Mothman prefer Waffle House or Cracker Barrel? Jenny Christabel. Oh my gosh.
Cracker Barrel.
He's got to prefer Cracker Barrel. That they carry my books.
Yeah.
Listen.
Well, no, I have to say this. It depends on where we're at and the time of day.
Time of day.
I love cheesy hash browns from Cracker Barrel.
I get my capped chicken bowl, but that's only after Cracker Barrel's closed. Yeah. Otherwise, 2 words: Sunday chicken. Sunday chicken at Cracker Barrel is the most amazing food on the planet.
Okay.
I have a different opinion. I think Mothman would prefer Waffle House because Mothman wants dinner and a show. And at Waffle House, you get both. You can see
true.
people
you
fist fight the
ninja
line
training.
cooks while you're there. Like it's
That
another
one-
world.
That one girl who deflected the chair. That was
Oh my God, yeah.
I will say if I've been drinking a lot, I want Waffle House.
That's yeah, but to be fair, we all know Mothman lives at Tudor Biscuit World in West Virginia. So
That's true.
Yeah,
My boyfriend's family's from Wisconsin, and every time they come down, they're like, "Can we go get Waffle House?" And I'm like, "Waffle House? Are you sure?
yeah.
We have other stuff here."
It
Hey, it is what it is. I'd never argue either one on a road trip. So
Okay. Hi, Erica and Mark.
Hi.
Hello. I listened to your episode on the Mandela effect, and I have to ask, do you think we're really living in some dream world? I went down that rabbit hole and discovered some crazy things. Thanks for turning me on to it. I really enjoyed the number stations as well. Give me more conspiracy. Are you going to investigate the Bermuda Triangle? Helen French. So, yes, Helen, we are going to do episodes on the Bermuda Triangle.
I have to say something funny.
Oh my God.
I was getting my internet here up in the mountains. I'm on the phone on hold with somebody, and I'm telling them, "Hey, I need better internet. I'm on a podcast, and we can't have this terrible internet." And the guy, he's from some foreign country, it's some call center somewhere, and he goes, "Well, what is your podcast on?" And I mentioned Monsters. He's like, "What do you know about the Bermuda Triangle?"
Oh my God.
So it's like, that is the one thing I believe in. And so I literally talked to this guy for 20 minutes on the Bermuda Triangle while we're waiting on hold for some technician. And he's just happy that he's not on break, and I'm like, and Carrie comes in from the other room going, "Who are you telling the Flight 19 story to at 2 a.m? And I'm like, it's the old guy. It's Jake from State Farm.
That is the story of my childhood right there.
Yes.
I feel yeah. Okay, so to answer your question, yes, we're going to do an episode on the Bermuda Triangle. I just don't know when. But I will say I am a believer that there are other dimensions. I think there's too much stuff that's happened that even if you discount half of it or 3/4 of it, there's still a lot that's happened that would indicate there are other dimensions or something. I don't think it's a dream world. I don't know that I buy into it's the Matrix and we're all plugged into a giant machine, but I definitely could see other versions of Earth.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And I think that's one of the things that were very tricky with listening to those recent military and government hearings where they were talking about, they didn't want to say they were from other planets. They never said extraterrestrial. They said non-human because they were already here. I think they were talking about things from other dimensions and things like that. They were saying it was too, it was ending the scope when they called it extraterrestrial. It was like, ooh, that means they're talking other dimensions. They're talking parallel universes and stuff. So I was like, wow, that floored me more than anything. Again, we'll talk that in another time.
That's going to be a long one.
I mean, my theory has always been that ever since Harambe died in 2016, we've been in a dark timeline.
I still think it's since the chicken sandwich wars, when Popeye showed that God's chicken could bleed and beat Chick-fil-A for a little while.
I don't know, because in 2016, after Harambe,
stopping the Muncy rabbit hole. We're
the murder clowns. You guys remember?
Hard pass.
All right. My turn then.
Yes.
I'll take to
Hi.
Twitter.
Oh, I like this. Hi, travel team.
Hi.
I like that. We should be the travel team. That's
Oh no, we're not
we
getting
did
members.
we did it
only
like
jackets.
a van. Yeah, it's
No.
like this.
Listen, this is not Scooby Doo. We're not.
That's exactly what it reminded me
It's
of.
not?
Mystery
No.
Inc. All right. I was so happy to hear Shannon LeGros on Mark's show. Yes, we love
Yay.
Shannon. It was refreshing to hear her step out as an experiencer instead of an interviewer. Are you going to have more hosts on your show in the future? I'm a traveler for life and the other side, William B. So
Wow.
I like
Good,
that. See
yeah.
you on the other side, William. I love it. So,
Okay, and the answer is yes, 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 yes. We have a lot of exciting things coming up. So yes, you will hear more hosts, more people in the paranormal world and the experts on all these different things we're talking about, because although Mark loves hearing himself talk, no, I'm just kidding.
Nice.
We love hearing from other experts because it allows us
Yeah.
to even go beyond what we know on some of the stuff. So yes, William, we will.
yes,
Plus,
definitely,
it gives
100%.
Erica and Mark like a voice break. That's really important too.
Yeah. Thanks, producer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for real. I mean,
Okay, so
this
yes,
is my bread and butter.
I need you to read this next one, Erica, because this came from that odd mailbox that I've been getting.
Okay,
so.
here we go. Mark. You say hello back?
Hi.
Okay. I don't feel
I'm a little nervous
Okay.
about this one.
my name is still not important. I really want I gotta do this in my voice.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
do it in
gonna
your
do
voice.
this. Here's my
Yes,
voice.
get in
Okay.
there.
Here we go. Mark, my name is still not important. I know you think you know who I am, but you do not. You answered my question indirectly last time. It was adequate. Oh, you're just adequate.
Well,
Okay. Let's see if you're more direct this time. Why won't you discuss the time you saw a shadow person in your childhood home? Does he still frighten you? If you must call me by a name, call me X. This is from X. Mark, is there
Wow.
a shadow person in your home that you're not telling us about?
I don't like this.
this is that same email box that
That's-
sent us the weird one last
Yeah.
time that I thought was a friend of mine, and turns out it is not. Because I talked to that friend and he said no, it wasn't him.
Okay, so
He could be playing my chain because this person also knows that I talked about this story a couple times. I've mentioned it on a few shows in the past that my earliest childhood experience was in my home in Dayton, Ohio. And we lived in an old house. It looked very similar to the house we stayed at for GalaxyCon. In fact, I was having flashbacks of that house where we were staying at that Airbnb, and because it was the same build, same design. And my room had stairs to the attic in my room. And one of my earliest memories is going up to that attic and seeing a shadow figure
at the top of the
at the
stairs.
top of the stairs with red eyes.
Oh
And
yeah.
it stared at me. It turned and looked at me. It didn't have red eyes at first. It just turned, and then I see the red eyes. And then the next thing I remember is my mother carrying me down the stairs and quickly hurrying me to bed to make sure I'm okay. And that is one of my earliest memories. So
Nope.
don't really remember much else. I only remember a few other things about that house because we moved out of it when I was 5 or 6. So
X.
yeah,
I hope this now satisfies the Mark answer.
I tried to answer as directly as I could on that one. So
I have a
Okay.
theory.
okay.
What if X is Indrid?
Oh wow, that would be crazy. I think Indra would say.
I think Indra.
I don't think so, and I do gotta say that I'm terrified. Please don't email me. I'm scared.
That's okay. Well, if they
Yeah.
reach out and ask a question that you haven't revealed yet, then we'll. You know what, X? Depending on
This
who
is-
you are, I'm going to throw out a little challenge. Your next question, I want it to be something that we have not talked about or touched on at all on this show
Or ever.
or ever. And let's see what you know, my
There's
friend.
quite a few things that I have not talked about on other podcasts or ratios.
Yes. Okay.
X
Next
just
question.
wants to know your mom's maiden name and the last
yeah,
4 of
and-
your
and all my-
social.
My
First
taxes.
patent.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so go.
Just kidding, X.
All right,
we
so-
believe you, but we
We
want to
do.
see how real you are.
Greetings.
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 Finding this in the woods. It's a sound similar to drums coming from a hollow log in a creek. What spirit makes this noise? Is it natural? And I just can't figure it out. James Pritchard.
It's the kind that makes you leave the woods for sure.
Well, Okay, I have a natural explanation for this first.
Okay.
There are some birds that do make noises in logs in the river. I don't remember which river birds. I wish Carrie was here for this because this would have been a Carrie answer. There
We'll
are
throw
some,
it in the show notes. Callie, make a note. So
there
that we
are
can
some
get that
water
answer.
birds that tend to go into logs looking for fish, and it makes a thumping sound. Sounds like a drum in a hollow log. And also there are some frogs that make that noise too. So that's immediate thought. Now, water spirit wise,
I wouldn't say water spirit. I would
What
just
do you
say
think?
nature spirit.
nature spirit.
I think the Fae. I think they can do that sort
they
of
can
thing.
do that too.
Yeah. And it's not just one kind of Fae. I think the Fae in general, because if you look up the little people in Iceland and stuff, they talk about the music that you can sometimes hear
Yeah.
when there's no humans around. So whatever it is, unless it's warning you, which if it's someplace you don't really have to be, or they might be trusting you. That's
Yeah.
what I would say. If you get any uneasy feeling, leave. That is my advice always.
It's a good
All right,
advice.
well, James,
That's true in social situations too. Like if you're like, I don't really want to be at this party, just leave. It's always an option.
So true. So true. Okay. Greetings, travelers.
Greetings.
Greetings.
I love the show. Well, we love that you love
We
the
love the show.
show.
Thank you.
Aw.
Done. Next question. No.
I really enjoy when Mark tells a crazy story and Erica's just floored by how insane it all is. Okay,
It's like the premise of our show. Wait a
that is
minute.
the premise of our friendship.
Yeah,
Is what
that's
that
true,
is.
too.
Ain't that the truth?
Tuesdays and Fridays are now my favorite days of podcast.
Hmm.
I do want to ask a question. Will Erica go through a house with Mark leading so she punches him in the back? I'd
So
love
she
to
only
see-
punches.
Oh,
him in
so
the
she
back.
only punches him in the back. I'd love to see it on your YouTube page. I hope to make it to Mothman Festival this year. Will you be back again, Diana B? Yes, we're going to be at Mothman. Both of us are going to be at Mothman.
I think she's asking if we'll be at Mothman next year. So I think she's not going to be able to make it
Yes,
this year. So
yes.
Well, hopefully we'll. be
Yes,
there.
we should be able to.
Yeah.
So the problem, Diana, is this: one, Mark super does not want me to punch him because I am not a delicate little flower.
No,
I'm
but-
6 feet tall, and I would probably knock him out.
I already have neurological disorders. I don't need to be exacerbating that.
Hey,
And
maybe it'll
unfortunately-
factory reset you.
Yes,
Oh,
I
good.
can reset there. we
Good. Good.
go.
Try
But
turning me off and on again.
the problem is it's not the haunted house or being scared, and I love the people in costume. It's just unfortunately a lot of haunted houses go with jump scares, which is
Well,
not
that's the
which
bread and
we
butter.
talked to Leonard, and it's the problem is if they're close enough to me or come at me, they're gonna get hurt. But we are gonna be checking out a couple haunted houses. We'll be talking
Yep.
about them in October, but I'm gonna get tours of them when they're not active, because whatever this, I used to love going through haunted houses all the time. I don't know when this changed exactly, but I just don't want to hurt the performers because they're amazing. They're giving their time, and it's no justice to them.
And
if
I
I'm-
love that you understand that. And
Yeah.
we've got a couple people coming on that we're going to be talking to that are professional going to haunted houses. and
Haunters, yeah.
We're bringing a couple vloggers on
Yeah.
that also go there, and we'll talk about that when they come on.
So no, I'm not gonna punch Mark,
you can
although
virtually tour these haunted.
yes. Dumb. Lame. But we will be visiting in the future, we'll be visiting more haunted houses. I just know my place in them, and I think the performers appreciate me not punching them.
All right.
Okay.
Next question. Hi, Mark, Erica, and Callie.
Oh, hello.
Hey,
Yeah. Can you all tell me the difference between a ghost, a cryptid, and a haint? I'm in South Carolina, and my mom says they are different things.
no, did they
John
say
Fremont.
haint?
Haint.
Okay.
Yes,
I
that's
had a
John
real
Fremont.
fearful moment where I misheard that word.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. No,
Okay,
not
listen,
taint.
keep
Haint.
it,
Yeah.
no, it's fine.
There was some.
We're gonna go past the explicit tag.
Game that had a really terrible translation, and they were all worried about the great taint. And I was like, the dark taint was coming, and I'm like, wow.
All your base are belong to us.
Yeah.
That
So,
just means you need a shower.
So the difference between a ghost,
How
a
about we
cryptid,
each
and a
take
haint.
one of these, and Callie, you get the ghost.
All right. Well, ghost is just a spiritual phenomenon that is caused usually by a dead person or persons, I would say. It can be like an object moving. It could be just like a sound that you're hearing, or it could be a full-blown like poltergeist with like multiple things occurring all at once. But it can also be like a replay of an instance. A ghost isn't necessarily like an entity that is like communicating. Sometimes it is just an entity that's stuck in this replay mode. I think that was okay. I don't know. I kind of went on a little bit.
Yeah, I think a ghost tends to be a spiritual situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's usually a remnant of something, and sometimes they're communicative, sometimes they are repetitive. Sometimes we like to call that the stone tape theory.
Yeah.
It's just a repeating thing and stuff like that. So
A cryptid tends to be a creature that is outside of what people would consider natural animals and things like that, and they tend to be more, I don't want to say larger than life, but Bigfoot's a cryptid, Mothman's a cryptid. These are different creatures that we don't have an explanation, and we don't actually have that much proof. Like we don't have a dead one of these to ever go, this is what it is, and to be able to dissect it. So
they're animals that aren't in the zoological record. That's why it's called cryptozoology.
Yeah.
And that's where we get the term cryptid. Now, haints. Okay, this is a South Carolina primarily, although it's spread throughout the Appalachian regions. It was started in a low country thing. It definitely was part of the Gullah culture. And that was they were malevolent haunts. It's the term haunt, but it's converted to
more like a poltergeisty kind of haunt.
like a poltergeist, but also more like malevolent.
Oh, like a
something
demon
looking
or
after you, like
fearmonger.
our fearmonger, or things like that. The more negative spirit, more I don't like to use the word demonic and stuff like that. So, but haint is definitely an interesting thing. A lot of people like to talk about painting their porches haint blue, which is to protect them from haints in the South. It's also wasps won't put their nests there, so that's the main reason people do it, but also is to protect from from spirits.
So that would be evil
it's
entities that we are not necessarily spiritual entities.
So
potentially
in the Gullah culture, they are three different things, where in some
Yeah.
people in like West Virginia and some places like that, haints is also haunts, and just it just blends.
I mean, if
So,
anything's
John-
an evil entity, it's for sure wasps.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's true. John, you need to go give your mom a wonderful hug and tell her she was right.
And tell her she's right, and let her listen to the episode.
Yep. Next question. Who wins in a fight, Bigfoot or Mothman? Jim Winslow. I actually have an analogy for this, and this is where I want to leave it. You ready?
All right.
Godzilla versus Mothra. I don't know. That depends on which movie you're watching.
King Kong versus Mothra, because he's more of a Kong, Bigfoot, I think.
I think my monster analogy stood perfectly fine, Mark.
Just saying, Godzilla is much more
Okay,
reptilian.
listen. The point was, it's two epic creatures, and it depends on the setting. There's too many factors, Jim.
Right.
I'm sorry, way too many factors that could go into this.
That was like, we used to have those arguments with Batman with time to plan versus Jackie Chan wanting no trouble, and they're fighting in a Lowe's Hardware.
Yeah.
Okay, who wins? The audience. That's
Right.
who wins in that, and that's exactly this: Bigfoot versus or Mothman. It's
The
the
audience
audience. The audience wins.
Bigfoot versus Mothman ends in them getting married in a very beautiful, tasteful ceremony in Vermont.
Yes, because Mothman is not just a piece of cake.
Exactly. He
Okay.
is wife material. We know this. We love Mothman.
Yes.
That's true. We do. Look at that butt.
Okay, whose turn is it? I lost track on that one.
I said Mothman butt.
So, hi, Erika and Mark.
Hello.
Sorry, Callie, you didn't get a hi in.
That's okay.
I met you all in Gatlinburg at the Bigfoot conference.
Hey.
Why were you at different booths?
I hate Mark. I don't want to be around him.
Yes, it's that restraining order.
Yeah.
It was nice meeting you all. Looking forward to listening to more episodes. I love your listener tales episodes. Leslie Ryder.
Well, hello, Leslie.
Hi, Leslie.
I'm actually going to explain this because Mark did this.
Yeah, it was mine.
It was Mark.
It was
bad but good at the same time. So what had happened was that I sponsored for Four Horsemen Publications, the Smoky Mountain Book Festival. We were one of the sponsors, and I was getting the booth information. Well, Mark can't contain himself, but also knows the people that put on the Great Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Festival. So he reached out for booth information, to which they said, "Oh, you're with Four Horsemen? Okay, we got your booth," and then gave him a booth because we sponsored, which was wonderful of them.
Yes.
And it allowed Carrie to display all of her artwork and stuff like that. And so it was wonderful. But the reason was because Mark can't control himself and it talks to everybody, Leslie. But trust me, in the future, we will be at the same location.
Yep. All right. Oh, this next one's for you.
Okay. Erika seemed really afraid of the knot deer. What are those? Carla Roberts. Oh, Carla. Nope. So I'm going to tell you what I know, which is barely enough. I'm like a liberal arts major on this particular cryptid. I know enough to be dangerous talking to, but that's it. So, Carla, when I was driving through Tennessee with my other half, whose name is John, we were looking up what cryptids were in that part of Tennessee, and he mentioned the no deer. He was reading from, the Googles, and a no deer is a creature that looks like a deer, except for it has a human face. And they have a very, very unfortunately terrifying history if you make eye contact with them. And from there, I'm going to let Mark take it away.
Okay. Well, there's also, the knot deer, also sometimes called the no deer. They are originally came from creepypasta and all that. It was more of a Wikipedia monster that evolved, but it was from deer get this wasting disease. And they tend to walk weird, and they tend to have this really strange behavior where they it's like me when I have my epilepsy fits, they tick and they do some strange things and they look like zombie deer. And so that's where this cryptid originated from, was that this was a separate nature spirit, but a dark nature spirit, might be related to, shapeshifters and things like that. And so that's why a lot of people are terrified of it. And it really blew up on creepypasta and became one of the most common reported sightings. And I think it was also partially because that that wasting disease that hit the deer really exploded during the 2020s lockdown. So people saw it a lot.
Yeah, let's just say there are rumors of knot deer before then, though.
Yes.
So we'll do a deep dive on knot deer at some point.
Yep.
Yeah. So
definitely
Carla,
on the list.
But I have several things that I'm in the realm of nope on. So
yeah, that is definitely all right. So I like this one.
Ooh.
When are we getting an Eerie Travels live tour? I want to see Destiny Beard as your opening act. Then you can debate Twilight versus Howling 2. Finish up with Erika singing with Bigfoot Incest Band. I love this show. Eric Adams.
Eric, we love you. So we are going to be in several places. They're all listed on Facebook, travelers. We're getting our events page up on the website, but we've listed everything on Facebook. Yeah. We have a lot coming up for next year. We have exciting news coming from Destiny, but we're not able to reveal it quite yet. It will be revealed.
Can we get the theme song now?
Yes, you can go to our website, you can download the theme song. And by download it, you go to Destiny's site and you download it.
Yeah, it's right from her Bandcamp page, and you get it direct to you, and the money goes direct to her.
Yes.
So no middleman. So.
No middleman. But I will say, Destiny, we have very exciting news that involves Destiny. So your little dream here, Eric, may be able to come true here shortly, but please come out. We do live Eerie Travels podcasts at most of our events. Dragon Con's coming up. We're going to be doing 2 of them,
actually. 2 podcasts there.
And we have one potentially at Scarefest.
Scarefest. We're waiting to find out final word, but should.
Yeah.
And then we also got oh my gosh, I have a little thing about the Bigfoot incest, was that I posted some fan art of that. So, one of our loyal listeners sent us some fan art of Bigfoot's incest, and I of course had to share it immediately.
Yeah,
and I got banned from Facebook and Instagram for 2 days.
Mark got put in a timeout. So we reached out to the fan. They wonderfully fixed it so that it was not quite as prolific. But yes, I will absolutely be the front man for Bigfoot. You know, if you're in a band or you want to form a band, let me know. We can
make that happen.
we can make that
Absolutely.
happen,
We've got an
okay?
audience. We've already got an audience of one.
Yes, we have an audience of one. I love it. Okay, next one. Mark and Erica, what is the most haunted event you've ever witnessed? What is the best evidence you've ever seen? David Branson.
Wow.
Well, hello, David. I have to say, I'm not going to reveal mine, and I'm sorry to tease you like that, but we got asked on the last listener question for me to tell my ghost stories. So in an episode in October, I know it's a little late, but you're going to hear all of my ghost stories, and I've got some doozies of some ghost stories. So David, I think Mark's going to hold back for that too. I think we're going to tell some of our ghost stories.
I think one of the best witness events I've ever seen, like I mentioned earlier, that lock at the old jail. I also think the May Stringer house last year with Jay and Chris the girl, Tampa Jay and Chris the girl, which is on YouTube on both their channels, 2 different angles filming the same event. If you look up Tampa Jay or Chris the girl and Real Haunted House, they have some video footage that is probably going to be on Paranormal Caught on Tape next season.
Yes.
And if you want to hear about the ghost stories that me and my sister Beth have had, you could go to that Hellview Cemetery episode that we did. I want to say it's like episode like 29 or 30 or something.
Mhm.
But we talk about the ghosts in our childhood home, which thank God is no more.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Which is very funny you say that, Callie, because
The
Mark.
next question.
So
actually,
David, we'll fulfill your dreams, but just in a future episode. Thank you for asking.
Yep, thanks, David. Greetings, travelers. Greetings.
Greetings.
I really enjoyed the Hellview episode.
Hey, there it
Hey.
is.
Is Beth ever coming on again to do a part 2? Is
Ooh.
Kelly ever going to be free of her father's love of haunted items?
No.
Where do I post my Robert the Doll romance fan fiction and not be cursed? I have a copy of Eerie, Florida, and Mark doesn't mention to say goodbye to Robert in the book. Did you do that on purpose to make more people have to write him? The documentary was great, BTW.
Dad.
Your side, Justin C.
Well, Justin, hello.
Wow.
So
Back it up, Dad. Did you not put that in the book?
It was not in the book because I didn't learn about it till later. We learned about it while we were filming the documentary. It was right before that. It was actually while I was doing Freaky Florida that David, who was David Sloan, who's Robert's keeper, started realizing that this was a new thing. Robert evolves, Robert changes, and Robert.
He's a growing boy. We love him.
You're the best boy, and you are growing strong, and you are learning a new thing, and that is where you have to break that connection. And that was more when we discovered Robert kind of follows the fairy rules. And that was one of the things, you have to say goodbye to the fairy folk, and that is also you break that connection. And once people started doing that, they started having a lot less issues with Robert letters.
Yeah.
So,
and if you ever see,
Florida also came out 2014, and the audio version is coming out soon.
And you're
I'm gonna amend it a little bit because there's a couple places in there that got bulldozed. I'll mention that, but there's also a couple places like that, things like that we have to add. So
great.
thank you, Justin.
So when is Beth coming back on? We could have Beth back on again. We'll have to work that out. Make a note, Callie. We'll do a roundup of
post
of the
Halloween
Muncy
season, because I know Beth's doing a lot of haunts themselves. They're that one fangirl on YouTube, and they do a lot. They're doing a media night for Sir Henry's. We were invited to Sir Henry's media night. The problem is it's the same weekend as Mothman Festival, so we can't go. But Beth is going to go in our stead.
Yes.
Yeah. I usually go with Beth to those Sir Henry media nights whenever Dad can't, but unfortunately I am not able to this time because I will also be at Mothman. You guys can see me there. I'll be there.
It's a rare Kelly appearance.
And
Haunted Trail is the one we're talking about.
Pockets might be there too.
Ooh. And Callie is never going to be free of her father's love of haunted items, as evidenced earlier when we talked about Carrie even bought yet another item. And
true.
Where do you post the Robert the Doll romance fan fiction and not be cursed? I'm not touching that one.
I would say send it to Robert and get his approval.
Yeah,
go to Twitter
Robert first.
Yeah.
And then you can post it.
Ask Robert on Twitter. I'll include his @ in the show notes. I am sure that Robert would love to read it. I have a new fear though, which is Robert fan fiction, which scares me probably as much as the doll. So that's a compliment. I'm sure it's very good.
I'm sure it's brilliant. Yeah. Okay.
Just like
I think this is
Robert.
the last question, gang.
Okay. Last question, and I'm just gonna say, if you want to send it to us, you can. Only after you've sent it to him.
Yeah, send it to Robert.
Absolutely.
First. We don't want to accidentally read it
Yeah.
on the air.
Okay. So, hello, Eerie gang.
Hi, gang.
Hi.
I recently picked up all of Mark's books at Tampa Bay Comic-Con, and he was just as funny in person as he is on the
Hey.
Did you put this as the last thing?
I saved this for last. No, I did
Yeah,
not. I
okay.
literally put them in order I got them. So
I bet Dad sent this one in.
Oh my god. I bet he did. Okay, here we go. I have a dumb question. Where did you get your Great Haunted Mansion shirt? My friend really wants one. Tell Carrie we loved her drawings as well. Plus, we love our stickers and patches.
Oh,
Jenny Thomas. Oh yeah, we have all of our Eerie Travels merch.
yes,
We
yes.
have quite a bit. We're even looking at hoodies now.
Yeah, we sold quite a bit of
Yeah.
Stickers and patches. So
And cups
yeah,
and
we sold a couple of the
t-shirts.
mugs. Yeah,
Buy our merch.
Yeah, buy our merch. Yeah, buy our merch when the website gets fully updated.
Well,
we'll
it'll
have
be
the merch.
updated, but we do bring it to our shows. So
Yeah,
you
we
can
do have it at the shows.
And-
so, we won't have them at Dragon Con. We'll have bits at Dragon Con, but
We'll
we'll be,
have some super secret stuff if you find us.
if you find us.
Yeah.
Just look for our panel schedules at
Yeah.
the Dragon Con website. Yeah, I think I know who this couple is that sent this because they were asking me about my shirt. So thank you guys for buying the books. I'm glad you're enjoying them. My shirt, if you Google Haunted Mansion Hawaiian print, the algorithm will find you. I get dozens pop up on my feed. I see that more than any other ad on my Facebook feed. So yes, the algorithm found us, and
It
there's a
will
lot of
find
good
you too. So
Yeah.
just
The
search.
the algorithm has started showing me shirts that just say I took a big shit in a Bucky's bathroom. And like I don't know what I've been Googling, but I'm gonna try to keep it up. This is a good shirt.
It's Bucky's is code orange right now. They have all the Halloween stuff. We were there just
True.
recently.
Yeah.
Spirit Halloween's open too.
Yeah, we are. It ends spooky season 100%, and we are on the road to Mothman.
On the road to Mothman. Jenny, it was wonderful that you got to meet
Yes.
Mark. I believe he actually talked to me about meeting you. So
I think I did. Yeah. So
you made an impression. We love meeting fans of the show, fellow travelers. We enjoy it very much. So absolutely.
we will tell Carrie that you loved her drawings. So
Yes, we'll make
I
sure.
believe you bought quite a set. So
Yeah.
Good. So,
Yes, and there's more to come.
more to
on
come.
that.
The Erie Southeast or the a natural Ohio illustration she did should be out at our next event.
Yeah.
And then the Erie Southeast picture should be out around the first of the year when we're allowed to release them.
Yes, and even more further than that.
Oh yeah, and then we got Erie Travels books coming with lots of more drawings. So,
Yes. So
Here-
travelers, absolutely keep those questions coming in.
my
We
gosh,
love
this was too much. This
For
was a full
sure.
hour. We did a full
hour
episode.
of questions. I hope you guys enjoyed it very much. We enjoy you. Callie, thanks for being able to jump in with us.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I don't know. I guess
You
Thank
run
you.
the show,
You
so
run
it's
the
Yeah.
show. Thanks for turning on your microphone.
Well, yeah.
yeah. No, I like to hide in the shadows. The shadow man
It's
can't
what
see
we
me
do in the
here.
What
shadows.
we do in the shadows.
Okay.
Alright, so
I'm gonna go start working on my first intro song for Bigfoot Incest.
and I'm gonna have to scrap my Robert romance fan fiction because somebody else already beat me to it.
Yes, probably did a better job.
Probably doing a better job, so I'll work on something else. But gang, thank you so much. Keep sharing, and subscribing. Invite more people to the show. We're growing leaps and bounds, and we're excited.
Yeah, don't forget to vote for us too on
Paranormality Mag.
Magazine.
Yep.
We want to be number one, and we know you travelers can get us there.
Yep.
We don't
And-
get anything for being number one other than knowing how epic you guys are out there.
Yeah, we are excited, and just keep sharing the love, and share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I guess, Erica, what else we want to say to these travelers? Do we want to say anything last? Just send us some more questions.
Yeah, send us more questions, send us listener stories, come out and meet us. And
Yeah.
Mark, I can't steal your line,
All
otherwise
right.
I would.
I know, but let's see you on the other side.